Well, Sakura's pretty much screwed as the ninjas from the Village of Sound descend upon her, but luckily, at the last minute, someone jumps in to save her. Naruto, number 51. Beauty is the beast. Well, we finally find out that a couple of the sound ninjas are Dosu and Zaku, I believe are their names. But anyway, well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and adventure-filled, action-packed tale of Naruto. Our last chapter saw us with, of course, Sakura trying to do her best to, I guess, tend to the wounded, Naruto being unconscious, and Sasuke, of course, having been bit by Orochimaru. And really, you know, the chapter winds up ending off with her, with seeing these three ninjas from the Sound Village, you know, they're waiting to attack. You know what I mean? They're watching her from a distance and waiting to attack us. So you know that the shit's about to hit the fan. That's how the chapter leaves off. And really, in a way, that's how the chapter starts off. It's actually right where we left Sakura. And she's sitting there, of course, you know, just kind of tending to the wounded again. And a squirrel goes and approaches, and as the squirrel, first of all, she's kind of like freaked out by it, you know, and she thinks it's something else. And then as the thing goes to approach, she's like, no! And she whips a kunai at it so it'll go away. And I'm thinking, what the hell? And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, really? That's senseless. What are you doing to the squirrel? Anyways, then we wind up seeing that hidden away from the trees, the sound ninjas are like, yeah, I wonder if she noticed, you know, that letter bomb that we put on its back, you know? And she didn't. At any rate, though, we wind up seeing later on in the chapter, though, and I actually made a mistake in the last chapter. I called Rock Lee, I called him Guy, and I understand Guy is his master, but it was just a mistake there, so hopefully he won't hang me. And, well, if you do invite me to a hanging, I'm not showing up. Anyways, but so Rock Lee, he was actually the one, we had checked in with him briefly last chapter or what have you. So, anyway, he's off and he creates his own, it's a little comedic relief, you know, a little comic relief. He creates his own training techniques wherever he's at, right? So he goes and he tosses 20 leaves up into the air, and he's like, and he tells himself, if I can catch all 20 of these before they hit the ground, Sakura will be my true love. If I can't, if I miss even one, then she probably won't, and she'll probably make fun of my hair, you know? It was just real funny the way he said it and the way it was all done and everything like that. So he winds up seeing the squirrel hopping along and sees this letter bomb on it and is able to pull it away right, you know, and get it off of him, and so it blows and doesn't blow him apart. And he's like, what the hell? Who would do this? What kind of cruel, you know, bastard basically would do this, right? And so anyway, there's another brief interaction amongst some of the other kind of goofier ninjas and what have you, but not really even worth mentioning. At least I didn't think so at this point. Like I said, the real meat and potatoes of the chapter is the whole thing. It was Sakura now kind of being by herself, you know, as obviously Sasuke is poisoned or cursed or what have you, and then of course Naruto is unconscious. So this is kind of a neat change because, you know, prior to that, yeah, Sakura would stand in the background and not do a whole lot. However, now she's front and center. She has to go and pick up the slack. Naruto's out. Sasuke's out. You know, one may be dying. The other one's unconscious. You're in the middle of the damn forest of death, right? The name right there should tell you that things are not looking up for you. So anyway, what winds up happening is then all of a sudden those the Sound Village ninjas or whatever, they wind up descending upon her, you know. And the one that's got the thing over his eyes always standing weird. He's got this weird stance where he just kind of like hunches over like a monkey or something. And I get that they're ninjas and that, you know, sometimes they'll go and kind of like squat and whatnot, but it doesn't even look like he's squatting. It looks like he has a back problem and he's like a hunchback and he like leans over or whatever. So I don't know what his deal is, but anyways, every time I've seen him though, he's in this weird position, and they've only shown him a few times now. But so anyway, they go and, you know, tell Sakura that, hey, listen, we just want Sasuke and that's it. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? She's like, I don't know what's going on. Orochimaru is here. He's obviously running the show, and they're surprised by that. They had no idea that Orochimaru had already been there and had bit Sasuke and everything else. And then she says something to the effect of the poison or the bite, or maybe she does say curse. I know it's one of the things that I've been throwing around too, but maybe she says the curse, whatever it is. And what the hell he did to him? What the hell do you want? And now he's not even conscious. And what, you want to go and you want to fight him now? You want to attack him? So anyway, what they wind up doing is as they kind of go and she's trying to lure them in, the weird hunchback one with the, with the bandaging over the one side, the one eye looks kind of like half of a mummy. Yeah, a hunchback mummy, nonetheless, goes and he's like, oh, look, it sees here, there's fresh dirt over here, and there's grass where there should be no grass, and there's this and that. And he basically figures out, he pulls an Inspector Gadget, and he figures out that she's set traps, booby traps around there. And then they put 2 and 2 together, and now it makes sense. That's why she was trying to keep the damn squirrel away from her, so he didn't set off one of the booby traps, and then she'd have to reset it, or if, in the case that there was somebody watching her from a distance, they wouldn't see that there's traps been set. So anyway, so now they see that the traps are there, and they're like, at least if you're going to do this, you could at least try to cleverly disguise them, right? So nonetheless, they're going to go and attack her, but they're going to go and do it from the air. They're going to go and jump over to this rock that's behind her and then descend down, right? And as they go and do that, what she did is she set those traps there. She's actually pretty clever, despite what a lot of people may say about her. You got to remember that she's book smart, head of her class, that type of thing. But she picks up on some shit too, so make it look obvious that you got traps down, so then they'll go and say, oh yeah, we got you now, we'll just jump over these and avoid them. And then she winds up having this log trap that's going to go and swing down and nail them. The problem with it is it doesn't work the way she wants it to. They shatter the log. It doesn't take out any of them or anything like that. The nice thing is, though, and what I thought was really cool, is right as they're about to kind of come in and descend upon her and whatnot, we get a real nice kind of almost two-page spread over here, Here's the whole deal with them jumping, here's the thing with the log, all that happening, them breaking the log, right? And then they're pretty much thinking, she's like, oh man, I'm fucked, right? I'm screwed, And then all of a sudden, we get Konoha Hurricane Technique. Or, I don't know, whatever you want to, whatever, it might even be called something different. I know everybody always gets on me about that stuff, about it's called something different in Japanese. I get that, but whatever. Anyway, so this hurricane technique comes in, goes and knocks them off balance, and then what we've got here, we got my boy, Rock Lee, coming in, looking all cool and stoked, and honestly, he looks much cooler now than he did when he was first introduced. When he was first introduced, man, that bowl head haircut and those super thick eyebrows, they just weren't doing it for me. I wanted to go and give the boy like $10 or $15 and say, man, go to Supercuts, get your shit done up, because you look like somebody put a bowl on your head and just done cut right around, just shaved right around and then took the bowl off. But he looks cool here, man, the way he's just standing, and the way he's got his hand out and everything like that. That's cool, I think. I don't know. I like the guy. Anyway, we wind up getting this, hey, who are you? He goes, Konoha's handsome blue beast, Rock Lee. And I like, too, you get some funny comic relief moments in there, and I don't know, a lot of you probably haven't read this in a long time, so you might not remember some of the intricacies, but I pick up on the little things, and sometimes I pick up on the little things, sometimes I go right over my head. For the most part, though, even though I don't mention everything in one of these reviews, because I don't want it to be a half an hour long, I try to pick up on the things that I think are important or funny. But one of the things that he said was, we'll get you... what does they get? We'll get you and your squirrel too, or we'll get you and your dog too. something along those lines. One of those ninjas wound up saying to her, and I forget exactly what it was that they said, but it was something along the lines of it was like the thing from that the Wicked Witch says to Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Get you and your little dog too, or your pretty dog too. And it was a line ripped directly from there, but they just changed one or two words, obviously to fit, Naruto in that scenario. So I appreciate little nods to humor like that kind of make you smile, and it lightens up the mood a little bit. Because honestly, let's be honest, after Orochimaru and what happened, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the trio of characters that obviously we're focusing on in this story. So you're looking at it going, man, it's kind of depressing otherwise. But you got Rock Lee for a little comic relief, and then of course him coming in and jumping in to save the day at the end. But then just little nods like that, like the little nod to the Wizard of Oz and stuff. I really appreciate things like that. So, anyways, that's how the chapter ends off. We know that Rock is going to, is obviously going to go toe to toe with these ninjas, and hopefully Sakura will do something as well. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to go on. I don't know if Naruto's going to wake up or what. But I do know that at least it's looking a little better now than it was at the end of last chapter. So, my chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is ultimately, what are your thoughts on some of the little things that are put in there by the author, by the mangaka, by Kishimoto? As far as just little nods to maybe other movies, maybe just funny little things that are put in there. It's not done over the top, in my opinion, but what are your thoughts on it? and I understand a lot of people say, oh, Naruto doesn't have much comedy after this. Well, I'm 50 chapters in, and I still see little nods like this all the time, so maybe it's not like over the top, and maybe it's things that you didn't notice because it's been a while, but for me, I've picked up on them, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that, as well as your thoughts on, obviously, Rock Lee and his, kind of infatuation for Sakura, whom he just recently met. So let me know what your answers are to those questions in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation. Remember to follow me on my other channel, as well as Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well.